Are bullies scared of their victims? Bullies are definitely scared of something. After all, the harsh, hateful energy that drives bullies is definitely not rooted in love. It's rooted in egoic fear. I noticed an interesting thing about a bully once. His bullying of me came in waves. When he would sense a vulnerability in me, it may have unconsciously reminded him of similar vulnerabilities in himself, which he had not healed and instead plugged with the ego. So when he saw it in me, he would project his unconscious fears of his own vulnerabilities onto me and start bullying me, because essentially he was bullying himself, that small, scared part of himself that he could not stand. One day, the bully was being unusually nice to me, but I didn't let my guard down around him. I knew I couldn't trust him, knowing his manner and lack of maturity in dealing with vulnerabilities or insecurities. In this rare and temporary moment of friendliness, I noticed as he asked a question to me, his hands were shaking, and the corner of his mouth was also shaking, though he was trying to hold a smile. I was surprised. Is this man intimidated by me? I wondered. But it made sense. There's something in me that he feels threatened by, and instead of dealing with his own feelings and fears, he instead projected those fears onto me and would go on the attack. Not the most civilized way for a man to behave towards a woman, but here lies a typical example of the unconscious masculine in play. The unconscious masculine is the ego, which essentially rules our world and its power structures. It's categorized by the need for more, the need for power, the disregard of others, and the endless desire for money and material gain. The bully and the victim both share the same fears. It's only the way it's expressed in outwardly that differs. They express the same fears on opposite polarities. The victim might absorb the fears and cower in shame and hide, while the bully rejects these fears in himself and projects it onto others and goes on the attack. If one person in this dynamic dropped their fear and the entanglement, the relationship would dissolve. And usually, it's the victim that does this, not the bully. Why? Well, usually the person who has the egoic advantage, that is, the illusion of advantage, is the one that is resistant to change. But the one that's being overtly harmed in this dynamic is the one who desires change, the one who's forced to change. As the person in that situation, I was forced to do the same as well. So being in the position of the victim can actually be much more empowering than we initially thought. The victim usually is the one to initiate change. So remember, if you're facing a bully in your life, just remember, usually the people we try to seek approval from are those who will never give it to us. Otherwise, why would we seek their approval if we already had it?